that gap between women and men in these fields. Women in STEM is an organization. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And they hold conferences and lectures for middle school and high school aged women to come and learn about those fields and possibly be interested in them and go into these fields and help them to become successful. Equal Futures Partnership. This was signed by those 12 countries and the USA, and it was a pledge to advance equity through advocacy, education, and research. And it was supported, or it is supported and enforced by the UN, World Bank, and other private organizations. The American Association of University Women has over 150,000 members and 500 college or university partnerships. And this association works towards limiting and reducing the amount of sexual harassment that happens in universities and colleges in America. And the last one, the Third World Organization for Women in Science awards fellowships to postgraduate women in developing countries. This helps not only develop the nation, but it also helps women who may not have the funds to be able to go into these fields to accomplish that goal and that dream that is there. Solutions to unequal pay. This one's kind of tricky, but lobbying for laws encouraging equal pay. As we create more laws and we create more bills, that's something that's important. Encourage political parties to explicitly define their policy over gender salaries, especially in this day and age. It's hard sometimes to directly understand what politicians and congressmen actually believe about this policy. And if we ask them to explicitly define that, we can find out that for sure, and that we can accomplish the first one. Finding balance between work and family for both genders. That would raise the hours for women, as we could find equality between the parents of the child and in the family, that the sole responsibility wouldn't just be on the woman. And voting, that's probably the biggest one, is when the power of voting is so strong, and sometimes it is greatly taken for granted, but when we vote, we hold the power to lobby for those laws, to encourage our political representation to speak for us. And if we vote, I really think that we can get this done before 2051. This is a quote by Michelle Obama in 2011, and it specifically is about STEM, but I think it's just a great quote overall. And she said, "If we're going to out-innovate and out-educate the rest of the world, we've got to open doors for everyone. We need everyone on deck. And that means clearing hurdles for women and girls as they navigate careers in science, technology, engineering, and math." And here's the conclusion.
And to bring this gender roller coaster to an end, the development of the gender role starts from the beginning of a child's development, and it is influenced throughout the child's phases and social media. And even though there has been an immense amount of progress to promote gender equity and show how the stereotypical gender roles are changing, we as humanity have a long way to go to reach the ideal city upon a hill way of life.
And if we could have you all read this with us, that would be great.
5, 6, 7, 8. Let's celebrate our differences. The strengths of the sexes must collaborate, for together we are strongest. We must raise and empower both men and women today, providing equal opportunities for both genders at all stages of their lives. Riding the gender roller coaster, we are on our way to gender equality.
The most memorable experience was definitely their group discussion on the second day, because it was very fun to have a discussion like that. And what I'll bring back is that while everybody's different, we can all still work together to improve the world we live in.
Coming from Canada and spending my week with a group of Americans, it has been lots of fun to see some of our differences as well as some of our similarities that I found, and being able to just bring that diversity back into my community will be really special.
And my favorite part about this week was definitely meeting just tons of new people. It's nice to have fresh faces and just learning everybody's cultures, styles, identities, and what they think of themselves. And it's a really big deal to me. So,
being that this conference is about gender equity and being a misogynist, I was a little nervous about whether my beliefs would be accepted or not. But when I came here and I shared my beliefs, I found that they were very accepted, and that was pretty awesome, because I'm definitely an advocate for social change in the way that everyone is free to believe what they want to believe, and that's awesome. You stand up for what you want to do. So, yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to reaffirm what the other Michael actually said, because I kept on clarifying that we were in a discussion and not an argument, and then the importance of discussing ideas, even though we obviously didn't have the same beliefs. We achieved peace through understanding of what everyone's is, and you wouldn't know that unless we discussed it. So I think it's really important. I discovered the importance of discussion. So
I just enjoyed everything in the small group. I think we really lucked out that we got such a great group of people. I feel like we really gelled. So that was awesome. And then just meeting everybody. I wish I had more time just to talk to more people and make more connections, but I feel like it doesn't feel like we've only known each other for a week, which I think is something that's awesome.
Just meeting everybody and hearing so many different opinions from a variety of places was just a really great experience. And I just learned so much this week that I guess I just have to remember to take it all back with me and spread it around and be that one person who might be able to start like a wave.
I feel very unique saying, once again, the opportunity to meet so many great new people, but since you're all thinking the same thing, apparently I'm awesome too. But I guess what I'm going to be taking back is all the lessons we learned in my poetic visitations that I've been using recently.
And I loved meeting the people of this group because I'm a really shy person, and these guys made me feel like I was not shy.
You were shy.
I wasn't shy around these people, but I literally sat at lunch tables alone, and then these people, they came and they were like, oh, you can sit with us, you're our friend, and I'm gonna take away learning new experiences of how to be a good person. That's cliche, and just sending a new message that nobody else wants to stand for.
So I learned a ton of stuff this week, and one of my favorite parts was just the fact that I was always really interested in the topic of gender equity and equality, and I wrote papers about it and looked up information and researched it, and I never really had anyone to talk about it with. So I just feel so lucky that I had the ability to come and talk to some people about it, and I just feel like I reached a goal, so it's good enough.
I would definitely love to thank Satara. She has been the best leader ever. She's my speaker, okay? Well, she was our leader, and she really doesn't get too much recognition, and she was so great in keeping us on task, because we don't stay on task at all.
We do.
My favorite speaker was Jay Burdett, and I had never known that business was not that bad, because I work at a retail store that I won't mention which one, but it's not that great. But learning about the upper parts about it, it's really changed my mind about it. So I'm really happy that he came and spoke, and he was a very interesting person.
I liked the military lady. I don't remember her name. Anne Rondeau. But I liked all of them really, and I wanted to thank all of them for coming and taking their time out to come talk to us, because they each had their own unique message that we could somehow learn from and gain like diversity and like hear different opinions to change, like open our minds to new thoughts and ideas. So.